Troopers Max and Max's models here. I want to thank everyone who made the live stream last night, especially Dan Monroe of Movies, Music, and Monsters, who spent some of his very valuable time with us, and hopefully we'll have him on in the future. I actually am looking into some things we talked about, like trying to blow a proper glass bubble or making the first season legs for the B9 robot. Dan is like the definitive expert on the Lost in Space robot, and he pointed out that the mobile unit, the one they walked around in the first season, had two completely independent legs, but all of the models and toys and stuff have the long range shot version, which has that sort of unibody upper section. So I'm looking at ways that we might be able to mold or modify that, but it's trickier than it looks. Could make an interesting project, but I'm afraid it's beyond my skills. You not only do you want to be able to do it, but you want to be able to do it well enough that it looks good. And of course, there's also the same thing with blowing those clear acrylic or glass bubbles for the brain. I've looked at manufacturing kits before and have always been astonished at how difficult it is and the work all these garage guys go through to make the stuff that they make. And it's not a minor undertaking, but it's got me curious. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm certainly open to them. Also want to thank Steve of Steve's Model Mania, who joined us. Ken, I'm sorry. As you guys may know, I was going to do this on Teams. We ran some test runs. It was working great. And then when I tried to go live, it gave me that passive-aggressive Microsoft, "I'm sorry, Max, but your computer appears to be busy right now." So I, at the last second, had to scramble to get a Zoom session together. And if I wasn't so cheap, why am I not just buying Zoom? I mean, it's $15 a month. I mean, it's like a couple of Starbucks, but, you know, us pilots are notoriously cheap. I'm sure I'll break down and do it. Anywho, once our session with Dan was over, I was able to appear on camera like normal and got Steve on the phone and Ken the way we normally do it. And I'm really kind of inspired by the idea of making some of these parts, but I really am afraid it's beyond my skill set. Then, of course, you know, it could be an excuse to develop some new skill sets. So what do you guys think? You know, anybody out there that can blow brain bubbles or make vinyl molds? Could talk to Mrs. Max's models about it, but she's got a ton of projects of her own. It does sound intriguing. I mean, there's probably a little cottage industry opportunity in there for an innovative and skilled modeler. But I see what these sculptors do. I mean, I've seen the sculpts my wife had made. The amount of work that goes into these kinds of projects is amazing, but some of the work they do is just pure art. Have you guys ever sculpted any stuff like that for any of your projects? That'd be interesting to know. Well, anywho, that's what I got for this morning. Just wanted to give a thanks to all the guys, to Dan and Steve and Ken, and all the glue troopers out there. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll talk at you later. And as always, model on.